Hey everybody, Mr. Bookyboo here, coming to you with a mid-month Lego City update. It's been a busy couple weeks here in Bricksburg, and instead of waiting until the end of the month like I normally do, I figured I would show you guys the progress that I've made in the city so far. The very first thing you're going to see, which is right over here, is I managed to get the light kit on the Ferris wheel. So we're continuing to light up Bricksburg. This light kit is the Brick Loot Ferris Wheel light kit, and it is pretty amazing. Actually, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's pretty easy to install. Standard lighting rules apply. It's a little fragile, so you got to just take your time and go easy with it, and take your time and string the wires very carefully as you go. But as you can see, the end result is pretty spectacular. You can actually run the Ferris wheel. There's a battery box that sits in the middle, in the hub of the wheel itself. So it's completely self-contained, so you can still run the Ferris wheel with the electric lighting in there. And of course, we still have Palace Cinema, which was the first thing that I lit up in Bricksburg. And as the months go on, and probably years, I'm going to continue to light up Bricksburg. But that's just one of the small things that I've done. What I really want to show you is, and we'll just do the quick pan through, but I really want to show you the progress we're making on the far west side of Bricksburg. So over here, this is pretty much unchanged. We've added a little more greenery. One thing I did here is I'm experimenting with the little trees in the front, making them a little bit bushier. So I added a few more of the big, the large green leaves to it. So you can see these trees got they're just a little more substance to them, which I think I like. We've got Jabba cruising down Main Street again. We're going to have a talk with the police to see if we can enforce him from rolling down there, because he tends to take up the whole street. But the other thing you'll notice as I continue to pan here is I kind of have the placement of the modulars fairly well set now. If you remember last month, I was still deciding. It kind of ended right about at the police station, and then from there, it was just it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I had to figure it out, and this and that and the other thing. What I decided to do, and actually the other thing you can kind of see, is I've also added some more tracks. So we're going to go down this way, and we're going to take a little closer peek at what's going on down here. So if I set you down nice and easy there, so you can see police station was kind of where we ended last month. And now I've got Greengrocer, City Hall, Fire Brigade, excuse me, the bank, and with the laundromat. So I love the little laundromat. I actually like the laundromat more than I think I like the bank building. And then what we have over here is we have street, which is where the pick-a-brick cups are right now. And then Grand Emporium, I just lost the name of it. Chez Albert, the Parisian restaurant. That's it, the Parisian restaurant. And then my own custom 3POs is kind of down on the end there for now. The big change, though, that you'll notice is I added some more sidings here. So I love the Lego trains, as you know, because we got the whole train thing going on in the front here, right? And we got the track, and we got all the way down to the tunnel, which then loops around, goes all the way back, and pops out on the other side over here. And so what I really wanted to do is to have more storage for the trains. Instead of having to pick them up, take them off the track, or leave them wherever, I don't know. I wanted to have some more storage. So what I did is I actually modified my platforms, which I'm going to actually show you one of them in a minute here, and made some more room here for more track. I was able to fit another siding. So actually I have two sidings down here. And then this is kind of like, and it's just a tiny little rail yard. And then this is the rail yard lead, which is right on the other side of the this guy here. Let's slide him out of the way. And then that like links up down here, which I just blocked again, of course, with the train. It connects here to the main line, which then goes to the station, and on you go. This was pretty easy to do. I had to modify my wooden platforms. So what I've got, and we're going to move a little bit further down here so I can show you a little bit better what's going on. So what I have, if you look down here, I'm going to pan down. So this is like the core structure of what Bricksburg is built on. It's just a simple pine board you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're really cheap. And there's some 2x2 legs that I just cut. And that's what Bricksburg sits on. And you can actually see right here a little bit of that platform. And then this whole front part, this whole front retaining wall is just to give you the illusion of all Lego. I mean, it is all Lego except for the platform underneath. But what I did was I cut it here, and you can see where it juts inward to allow enough room to have an extra siding here. So that, I'm pretty happy with how this whole area has turned out right here. Now, the interesting thing you'll note is the road actually goes to right here. And where all this junk is, which you can't really see it, but there's actually a curved road plate hidden right in here. And so that curved road plate, so the road's going to go off this way, which is why I'm able to fit the two corner pieces, because if you remember, Lego seems to love coming out with corner modulars. And so I had too many corners to fit on my really long street. So I decided to put another street right here. And I'm probably going to do like a small viaduct, like a facade viaduct bridge is what my plan is for right now. Or maybe some type of building that you can run through to maybe like a building with the road going underneath it. There's actually some cool prototype buildings you can see pictures online. There's actually a famous one in Chicago that a freeway runs right underneath. It's the old, I think it's the old post office building, if not mistaken. But anyways, so that's kind of that idea. Now, you're going to say, wait, Mr. Bookie Boo, what about over here? Because you're like out of road space. So what's going on here? So I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you asked. What's going to happen is this is just going to become a simple promenade. So minifigures can walk along here. So you're going to have tile walkways. You're going to have some more like little shops, kind of like I have my farmer's market on the other side of Bricksburg. I'm going to do, I think in the corner right here, what I'm tentatively planning right now is to have a little pizza shop here. And then also, a few other things. Now, you're also going to say, Mr. Boogie Boo, what happened to Ghostbusters? It's gone. Where is it? It's currently on the floor over in front of the Ferris wheel. I still don't know where I want to put the Ghostbusters. It may end up down this way. I don't know. The only problem is the Ecto-1 can't really get out anywhere because there's no road. I initially had it here by where the Grand Emporium is, but then the problem was because that darn building is so big, it like takes up like 1.5 modulars. And so then I lose space to do more modulars. As it stands right now, I can get one more full-size modular here, and then I have this goofy little cutout in my wall. And so then I can't really fit any more full-size modulars. But what I want to do is I had smaller modulars that I'd made, like mini modulars, like a Lego store, the deli creators set. I kind of made that into a bigger modular. So those are going to go along that back area there to kind of make that fit. So those are the plans for now. We'll see how it goes. It's in constant flux. If you guys know, you guys have your cities and stuff, and you guys are building, you know how it goes. It's always changing. Things are always moving around, and switching. It's this and that. But it's Lego, so we can switch it. It's easy, right? You don't like it, you tear it up, start over, and do something else, and see how that works. We're almost done with the retaining wall, all the way along here. You can see on the other side of the red train there, construction crews are still working. And let's see if we can zoom. Yeah, we can zoom in a little bit there. And then at the far end there, you can see where the track loops around, and you can also see the tunnel portal that is going to. Let me zoom in a little bit closer here. That actually where the train from the loop on the backside. Now I'm just going to point out a really neat trick that you may know, or you may not know. So standard Lego track, the curves are pretty much a fixed radius because it's fixed track, right? And we have the flex track, which we all don't really care for because it looks weird and this and that. There's one really cool advantage to the flex track. You can actually make the radius of the turn slightly tighter with flex track. There's enough give in the track to make it tighter than the normal standard Lego curve. So if you have a tight fit, like I have in this corner here, because I have this goofy wall that juts out here, I actually can use the flex track, and it actually is to my advantage because I can make the turn there. With regular track, it wouldn't work. It would crash into the wall, and I couldn't have all of the. It wouldn't work. So I don't know what I'd have to do. I'd have to do something else. Or if you remember, last month I had the curve was actually like right about here, and it curved under this way. So little advantages there. This little yard I got going on here, I really like. It's pretty, this is pretty cool because I can store 2 trains. I can actually technically store 3 on this lead right here as well, and still have the main line clear for a train rolling through. We have the full return loop. This is a reversing loop now because of the way this connects up here. And if you follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram story from the weekend, I actually experimented using the Y there. Remember I got those 4D bricks Ys I talked about last time? The problem, well, there's a couple problems with it. The first one was the ballast. Trying to ballast that was really tricky, and I got frustrated. And then, of course, once I ripped it out, I figured out how to do it, but it wasn't easy. But the ballasting was tricky, and and then the other part, which I felt was kind of weird, was the it just looked a little too busy because I had the Y going off this way, and so there was just a lot of track in that corner, and it looked weird. The other thing, which I don't remember if it was in the last video or not, but certainly I think I had a few pictures on Instagram, was this area. Which this is what I really wanted to show you. So this was all track. This was like literally a parking lot of track last time. Oh, sorry about that. This was literally a parking lot of track over here last time that had too much. There was like 3 lines here. The main line in the front and the back, and then there was another siding that ran through the middle here, and it looked very similar to this. And so the more I looked at it, the more I realized, you know what? I'm getting really crazy with the track, a little too crazy, and it's just too busy. There's too much of it. A lot of times with design, when I try to design, I want to try to find like a balance, between the different aspects of everything, really. And so it's cool to have the trains, but you don't want to overpower with too much trains. It's cool to have a city, but you don't want to have, just all city. You want to have a good mix of it. And so, and depending on what you want to do, it just, it kind of, I guess it just depends what you want to do. So for me, I wanted to have a little more balance, and I felt like I had what I like to call is the bowl of spaghetti with the tracks. It literally looked like a bowl of spaghetti because there was just track everywhere. There was just too much. So then I started thinking, I was like, what if I did something different here? And I really wanted to include this thing, this fishing store, because this is a fantastic model. One of the best sets of the year, I think. It's just really cool. And I didn't have a good place to put it. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, what if I simplified? And I really wanted to have water, and I didn't know where to put the water. Originally, I was going to have the water, and I'll show you over here. Oh, surprise, I finally cleared off the table. Look at that. Well, kind of. There's still a few things on it. But the original plan was to have this be like water, like kind of right in this area. And then have, of course, Ninjago Land, which is still going to be over here somewhere. But then I started thinking, I said, well, you know what? What if I did a transition here? Because I have Bricksburg, like, the traditional Lego city. And then instead of just doing this bowl of spaghetti track, I could do a nice transition. So this is what I'm calling my California coastline. So I live in California. I live in Southern California. And one of my favorite parts of the state is actually the Central Coast. And there are these beautiful cliffs. And it's actually, you can take the Pacific Surfliner or what's the other one called? Oh, I left my mind. I had it. It's the other Amtrak train, the Starlight, not the Starlight Express, the Coast Starlight, all the way up to Seattle if you're really adventurous. But anyways, there's a stretch of track that runs literally right next to the ocean like this. There's actually another part in San Diego too, but there's a part I'm thinking is the Central Coast. So it's, but it's literally right along the beach. And on the other side is like these sheer rock walls. Is just the most gorgeous stretch of like track pretty much anywhere in America, I think. And so that was kind of my inspiration for this scene here that we have going on. So what I'm starting to do is, as you can see, is I'm building the rock wall right now. I'm using my favorite thing, and we'll get a little bit closer here because then I can move in and show you more stuff. So we're using my most favorite thing in the world, the burp. Those big ugly rock pieces that are like, what in the world, this is Lego? I don't know. So I have a bunch of these from previous from the Disney Castle, from Ninjago Land, whatever. I got a ton of these things. So I'm using this as the foundation for this really nice brick wall, which also doubles as a facade and breaks up the monotony of just the the plain wall behind it, because I needed to do something, right? So that's kind of the vision for this area. And so there's going to be a beach in the front here, and I'm starting to lay out the sand. So it's kind of like a tiered sand. You can see the different layers of sand. Layering is pretty tricky, like for me. Like I have trouble with, I work in angles. Like I'm very geometric. I guess my brain's very logical. So for me, this kind of stuff is challenging. But I think that the end result is really cool. Having like these layers so you can see the water. There's like this, there's going to be more of these little like jutting out sand to make it irregular. And then there's another layer back here, and then another layer where the fence line is. It just gives it a lot of depth, and it makes it not just like a flat piece of land, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Now also to break this up over here, so I have a little rock wall because I didn't want to, again, transition, right? You don't want to go from like beach to city. That doesn't happen in real life, really, unless you're in Santa Monica, where like the city runs right up to the beach. But in this instance, so what I did here is just a small little rock wall just to kind of frame the scene and just make it look, and I'm still building the back part, but you can see the front part, just to break it up a little bit, you know, and then there can be more detail here. I'm going to add, of course, all the fun at the beach minifigures, you know, some lifeguards, maybe some Coast Guard stuff. I have water here so I can put Batman and the Joker out in their little floaties out at sea. You get all kinds of cool stuff in this area. I'm also going to want to incorporate this lighthouse because I really love this Creator 3-in-1 lighthouse kit. It's I always wanted a lighthouse in Bricksburg, and I almost bought, they had an old one, like a 3-in-1, I think, came out several years back, and I almost bought it in Bricklink because I was like, ooh, and then they came out with this one. It's like, whew, saved myself a fortune. But anyway, so this little ocean area here is just kind of what we're doing. So what do you think? You think this is a good idea? I'm kind of digging it because you know, it's just different scenes. It's framing stuff. It's breaking up things. And then, of course, the really exciting stuff is over here. So we're starting to get into Ninjago Land, which has been totally neglected while I get the other main part of Bricksburg set up. But this area is where I really still don't know what to do. I'm still trying to figure it out. I've had like the track like 15 different ways in this area. And I think this platform is going to go because sticks out too far this way. So I'm going to put a smaller wooden platform here. The mountain, of course, is going to stay in the corner because that's really works in my opinion. But what I need to do is figure out, and I think, you know, of course, the Temple of Erojitsu works in the corner because that's like a corner piece. So I have that whole aesthetic I really like. But the rest of it's entirely up for grabs. So this is where you guys come in. What do you guys think I should do in this area? So now I have this whole table area here to work with. So this is about, it's like maybe like, well, total it's about like 6, maybe 7 feet, not quite 7 feet, maybe like 6 feet of table to work with from the end here all the way to the corner here, and then of course where it hooks up with the beach. Now, a couple of caveats. I need to have a return loop, so the track needs to go around somehow. It doesn't have to go all the way to the end like it does right now. It can cut shorter, because initially I was going to cut it somewhere in the middle, and then there was going to be ocean over here. And then it has to connect up over here, so I can do a continuous run of trains. I want the train, a train to be able to run continuously around the layout. So that's the only caveat of that. Otherwise, it's kind of up in the air, and I don't really know. I'm probably going to experiment, but if you guys have ideas, I'd love to hear it. I want to definitely, Ninjago City is currently in my son's room. He's so excited he got to like play with it like in his room, so he has that right now. So Ninjago City's coming back. Now they're also coming out the Ninjago Dock set, which they haven't announced yet, but I'm hoping it comes out like any time, like May, June, I'm thinking. May and June, I'm telling you, is going to be brutal. We got the Y-Wing UCS Starfighter. Allegedly, the roller coaster, not just the 3-in-1 roller coaster, but they're making the Creator Expert roller coasters. Supposedly, it's a secret. Shh. Supposedly that's coming out in June, and with an early access in May. And we got the Ninjago Docks, which I think is probably going to be out around May or June too, is what I've heard. That's going to be brutal. I'm telling you, you got to save up those VIP points. Or maybe they'll run a double. Well, you know they're not going to run a double VIP point promotion, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, so I need to fit Ninjago City in here. I've still got the Temple of the Ultimate Weapon I got to put somewhere. I still got that old Dragon Temple I got to put somewhere. And I want to incorporate the docks. So the docks kind of need to be down low is my thinking. And if that's the case, Ninjago City probably is going to like link up to it somehow, I'm guessing, with the little waterways and stuff. So I was thinking maybe like some canals, like a little, you know, like kind of like Venice or something, like little canals between the areas and stuff. And then it'd be nice to get another siding for trains here so I could park another train. I also need to make a station, which actually I got this really cool set, which I'll show you real quickly. This set, oops, this set, I bought this set because of the stickers. I've never done that before. I'm not a big fan of stickers in Lego. I like printed pieces, and these are all stickers. I know that, but I actually bought this specifically for these because I'm like, dude, this is like, it's like a Subway. I'm like, this is perfect. So, and maybe that's what I'll do is a Subway. I don't know, but I literally bought that set just for the stickers. Isn't that crazy? Of course, the parts will be useful too, but you know. But so I need to figure that out. I need to get the docks, you know, maybe somewhere, Ninjago City, a station. It could be a subway or it could be an open air station. It don't have to have traditional road plates, so I can kind of squeeze the roads if I need to. I can make them really narrow roads. I'm open to that. And then, of course, I need to incorporate the mountain and the Temple of Air-Jitsu, which I think needs to be up high. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do some stairs or something over here. Or some kind of tiered, you know, thing. I don't know. And that'd be kind of cool because the Temple of Air-Jitsu kind of sitting up on a hill with that mountain behind it. And then another, like this could be like rock facades here. Yeah, I don't know. So that's where we're at. Like I said, lots of progress, lots of stuff going on. And then you can also just quickly see, this is just how I build. I just whip out the trays for my storage, which is behind me over here. And then whatever parts I need, I have like, I sort by color and then by type if I have a lot of the same color. So like I have tons of dark bluish gray and light bluish gray. So this is my slope bin of dark bluish gray. It makes it really easy. Just grab the bin, put it out, start building. I have another bin of dark bluish gray bricks. I have dark bluish gray plates. I have, you know, on and on. And so that's just how I build. So that's my update for the month. Lots of progress, like I said. It's still got a long way to go, but boy, am I having fun doing this, I'll tell you. This is probably one of the better things that I've done is tear apart my city and start over. It's just a lot of fun to build and create and come up with new ideas and do all this stuff. So let me know what you guys think about Ninjago Land. What should I do? Give me some ideas. And I will be back at the end of the month with another update. And hopefully we'll have more of the coastline done. We'll have this little tunnel area done. And we'll have more stuff to show you guys. So thanks for watching. And I will talk to you guys soon.